on this volunteer day, the day where we give back for giving us this great event.
Hi.
Hi.
So what are you gentlemen doing?
We're the stampers.
Yes.
What does a stamper do?
We
stamp
get your passport and we stamp physics and astronomy.
Can you make me a passport?
Yeah,
Or am I too
sure.
old to get a passport?
No.
No?
Lymphatic filariasis. So it's basically a microlarva that's introduced into the body through.
And I'm still working on the testing of it, but what you see here is a UML diagram with my new Discoverer class, which I've just added, which allows me to
My project is about a magnetic positioning system needing only one source for reference. As most of the indoor positioning systems require more than 3 beacon sources to trilaterate the position of an object, I've created a single source positioning system by calculating the distance, elevation angle, and the azimuth angle of an object. For methodology, I use received signal strength to compute the distance and rotating magnetic fields to compute the angles. But what is a rotating magnetic field? So here's a rotating magnetic dipole, and it's rotating. And the object over here will receive a magnetic field strength signal like this, and it varies over time. Okay, so in this study, I use electromagnets to simulate this rotating magnetic field. And this is done by feeding phase quadrature signals to 2 mutually orthogonal coils. By using the characteristic of a rotating magnetic field, the peak value of signals that is captured at different angles occurs at different times. So I can use the phase difference of the signal to calculate the actual rotation angle between two objects. Yeah, that's my concept. So throughout system development, there are 3 main challenges. First of all, according to the characteristic of a rotating magnetic field, a time synchronization between the source and the object that is being detected must be done. To solve this, a third linear polarized signal is sent from the source for a reference to calculate the angle of an object. Next, to calculate the elevation angle and the azimuth angle at the same time, I've combined frequency division multiplexing and introduced a brand new concept, which is the magnetic positioning sphere, MPS, with 3 mutually orthogonal coils, generating rotating magnetic fields in 2 different frequencies and in 2 different directions. This formula reveals the field strength model of this MPS system, and it tells us that by calculating the amplitude and phase of each signal, and the position of this object can be determined. Third, to significantly reduce the computing time of this system, I've considered only 2 specific frequencies instead of the entire frequency range as in a discrete Fourier transform, DFT. After DFT, the amplitude and phase of each signal can be calculated using these 2 formulas. And based on these parameters, the position of an object can be determined, and all of these can be done by a single source positioning system. After experiments, observations show that the positioning accuracy and stability of this system meets the requirements of most of the applications. Well, which has a total combined error rate of only 10 centimeters of all 3 axes under experimental settings, while filtering out radio interferences and obstructions. Also, this system can be set up in very short time, which saves a lot of time and money for installation. Yeah, thank you very much for listening. This is the signal sent into the coil, so the phase has a 90-degree phase quadrature. Phase difference is 90 degrees, and it is able to generate things to like rotate. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Niklas Faut. I'm from Team Germany, and I developed a new measuring method for gas analyzation to help people in poor countries. For example, in mines, you often have the problem that conventional detectors are too expensive to use them, and there were many horrible accidents. So I developed these pretty cheap gas detectors that are based on ultrasonic, and yeah, they work pretty good. There's an Android app for it. You can use it in your household, in your kitchen, for gas measuring, stuff like this. Yeah, that's it. Go on.
How's the traffic?
Good. Like 40 people.
Where are you from, Miguel?
Puerto Rico.
All right.
Be switched between states. Like I said, the switches happen to be on and off states, right? So graphene, you can make it insulative and you can make it conductive. So in its natural layout, its natural formation, just this shape that it has, the electrons in the graphene don't really want to flow, but it's just natural.
Can you Hey, I'm William Mackinnon from Fairfax, Virginia, here at ISEF 2015, and I created the assisted rehabilitation device. What it is, it's a device that allows people who have temporary form disabilities, like a broken arm or a sprained wrist, to regain some of the functionality of that limb during their recovery period. So it's based off the idea that a lot of the time, when you are wearing a cast or you have a brace on, you can move your fingers, but you just can't put any weight on that arm. So with this, the weight of whatever you're doing, whether it's picking stuff up or opening a door, is distributed to the cast in the arm as a whole, so it takes pressure off the specific breakage point. So you can see here the operation is actually relatively simple. There are these flex sensors in the glove, and those are basically just variable resistors. So the output of that is fed into this Arduino microcontroller. It interprets that data and controls the motors accordingly. And so you can see the motors here, they have these strings that run up along the finger here. So, as they move back, they pull the fingers closed and you can pick up objects or perform daily tasks. Bye.
Hi, I'm Claire, and I was studying how co-planting water lilies affects the arsenic content in rice and the surrounding environment. I also studied how the co-plantation of water lilies affects the lead contamination. So I found that the water lilies were up to 99.98% effective in removal of both arsenic and lead from the rice and the surrounding water. Removing arsenic from rice was not known prior to my experimentation, and my method is completely novel. There is no other way to remove arsenic or lead from the rice that has already been absorbed. So I also tested the water lily to ensure that the arsenic and lead was being transported into the roots of the water lily, and I found that it was indeed correct. So it is completely effective, very low cost, and it is again the only way to remove the contaminants from the rice. I believe in Bangladesh there's around 24,000 people that die from arsenic poisoning every single year, and so this would be absolutely life-changing for them. So I believe it's also their country flower, and since they live in, or since the rice grows in an environment very similar to the water lily, it would be absolutely no problem to co-plant. So, all right, thank you.
So the number of times it took to get.
I'm not gonna wait.
Okay, is everyone finished with the experiment? Would you be willing to do the counter? 7. How about 6? Would you be willing to count again? 7. How about 7? Oh, is that only 1? No, wait. So is it 2 guys? You guys?
So what do you think of the award ceremony so far?
It's been a lot of fun. These are some big awards.
The American Geosciences Institute, AGI, strives to increase public awareness of the vital role that the geosciences play in modern society.